Richo's Rant. This is about some misinformation and
I'm here.
some of the things.
So every little bit's misinformation.
So Al's going to join in here.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. All these promises. Oh, mate, might show the driver, but get this driver and it'll hit.
No, we're just holding it. It doesn't matter, but
it'll hit 50 metres further. What about this ball?
Yep.
It'll spin more. It'll do this. It'll do that. It'll make you a better golfer. Look, if all this equipment is advancing so much, why are handicaps
still
the same? You talk to people, just talk to Shane, the pro shop.
We just had a chat to Barney in Virginia here.
Saying that the winning scores from the Saturday comps now are no much different than they were.
Next to no different. The guys are shooting 5 or 6 under.
Yep.
30 years ago, guess what?
Yep.
There's still guys shooting 5 or 6 under.
I think golfers are some of the most desperate people I've ever come across, except for starving people.
Yeah,
right? But
we
golfers
want more.
are desperate for something more, and I think sometimes some of the companies pry on that.
See, but what I've said as well, and like for me, the misinformation side of thing, I mean, marketing's marketing.
Yep.
So that's one part of the equation. It's
and
great.
People have to realise that that's marketing. Companies market themselves, and why? So they should, because that's how they make their money.
100%.
So if I've got whether I market a shirt, right? I want to market it to a certain group of people, and to a certain group of people, and you know where your market is.
Yep.
And you know how you're going to advertise it.
Correct.
To get the most money that I can, because I'm running a business.
Correct.
Right.
Marketing's marketing, but see, when they say certain things, they have to back it up. So they do tests.
Yep.
To have tests, you can set tests up for certain things to succeed or fail.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
So whatever they're saying in a marketing campaign must be true. They have to back it up. It has to be verifiable.
Yes, without a doubt. Yes, if the shirt's going to last and not fade after 20 washes.
There you go. They would have at least had to have tested it for 20 washes.
I have to wash it 20 times.
As a minimum, and it doesn't fade, so it does that.
Yep.
But you can do things to set things up to fail.
Yes.
Or something else to be better than something else.
Yes.
The parameters of the test.
Yep.
Misinformation also, guys, what you hear, whether you see it on Facebook, like how much has it been running rampant lately? You'll see a news story from wherever it is, and you instantly go, those mongrels or whatever, that must be true. Oh, it's true. You start telling people, and then it's wrong.
Without doubt, because people take a headline.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's instantly true. So misinformation, you've got us telling you something that's not true.
Yep.
You'll potentially believe it if you don't know any better.
Without a doubt. When I tell you that my new driver's going 50 metres longer, but I forgot to tell you that my old driver was a wooden header club. That's
right, and that's what I mean, a test to a degree.
So,
or this ball that is supposedly a cheaper alternative, I've gained 15 metres. I would like to see the proof. Yeah. Tailor-made, and this is what kind of gets us on to this, the new tailor-made golf ball, the TP5 and TP5X.
Yep.
There is a video out there from Eric Loper, L-O-P-E-R, the R&D guy. Now look, it's a good video, and it is him saying and calling out a golf ball, Pro V1X, that the TP5X is, I think he said 3.1 mile an hour faster off the face, launches higher and spins less than it.
Yep.
So they must have tested it, it must be true. That, you know what I mean? I've done testing with it, but we'll get to that, like that's in another video, but it must be somewhat true. But by now we should be hitting drivers, everybody should be hitting them 300 metres.
You would think so.
The average on tour for, say, driving distance is somewhere up around the 314, 17 yard mark.
Yep.
Back, I think it was in 2001, 2 or 3, something like that, Hank Keeney averaged 324.
Yeah, he was smashing it.
Yeah. His club head speed was basically the same as the big guys.
That was a golfer as well?
I think so. I think he might have been. He had a sister, definitely. She was a big unit.
She motored the ball too.
Yeah. So Hank Keeney. So check that out. It's like 2001, 2002 or 3, something like that. He was hitting at 324 metres.
Yep.
Yards, sorry.
Yeah.
The guys these days, 314, 317 yards is where they're at. Yep. So effectively he was 8 to 10 yards longer. Why is that? Because at that stage, the COR of the drivers was 0.86. That was the highest legal.
Yep.
That was what it was.
That's the driver you're still using, isn't it?
That's the only reason I hit it more than 200 metres. But that's literally it. So he had effectively what is now an illegal driver, and he was hitting at 324 yards. So it come on the face, a little hotter, and that's where his distance come from.
Yep.
For the last X amount of years, the last 10 years, it's been negligible. and the guys are getting
Pretty well.
fitter, stronger. How much has it changed? Just more injuries, maybe.
I think some more injuries. Yep. Yep.
Misinformation, guys.
Yep.
It's
But if you go and
everywhere.
look
You
at-
need to sort through it and make your own decision. You need to do your own testing.
Yep.
And actually maybe look at different studies if you possibly can. I'm not talking about just not golf, it's everything in life.
Yep.
Everything.
I think that you should always compare yourself to someone that's similar.
Especially if you
Right,
want
so
it.
that's what I look at. I look at it, so I compare myself to people on the seniors tour that are roughly the same height
Yep.
and the same weight,
Yep.
and then I look at their stats and then knock it back a bit. So
Yeah.
if you look at it, where if
But you're so the longest on there was John Cook, do you say?
John Houston,
John
I think.
Houston, sorry.
I
John
think
Houston
he
on the
was at
seniors tour. He's hitting at like high 260 metres. So he's
Yeah.
basically hitting at 300 yards-ish average.
Yep.
High 290 yards.
Yep.
He's a freak, basically. But he's
Yeah.
a tall fella.
He's a tall fella. He's hit it further.
But again, the misinformation we're talking about, it's
Yep.
like, yes, there's marketing, yes, there's that. You've got to sift through everything yourself, and you've got to come up with your own. Like
Yep.
a lot of people talking about cast and forge golf clubs. This is what gets me. Everybody does it. Everybody says it. A cast golf club doesn't have to be a hard golf club. So everyone's going, oh, it's not
no.
forged, so it doesn't feel right. Case in point, Ping Eye Blade and the i200s,
Yep.
both made of the same materials, both cast.
Yep.
Rockwell hardness scale, they are
Yep.
actually softer than a Mizuno boron forge.
Yep. Yep. I think it's what feels nice to you,
Correct.
right? And with the casts are all a bit different because they generally have some cavity back, so they have
Yeah.
a softer feel anyway.
Well, see, cast tends to be
So-
firmer. Like in a generalised statement, cast is
Yeah.
firmer.
Yep.
Because the cheaper clubs are cast. I'm not
Yep.
saying cheap clubs are cast. I'm just saying
No.
to save money, casting
it's the
cheaper than
process.
forge. Correct.
It's
The process of
of-
forge is being slammed into place. Takes time. It takes a lot more effort. Malted
Yep.
steel for cast into a mould. Done. Then it
Yep.
cooks and does with it. But that's it.
Yeah.
So again, misinformation. People saying that one's soft and one's harder. Well, no, cast is just as soft or softer than forged.
Yes.
Guys,
Years ago it was probably.
I'm gonna
a bit
keep.
different.
I'm gonna keep going. I could be going for an hour, and I don't want this video to go for an hour.
But make sure when you read an article, read the whole thing.
Yep.
Don't just take the headlines from it.
Exactly.
Read the whole thing.
Don't just look at something and perceive that it is the way it is.
Yep.
Do your own research and delve deeper into it,
Yep.
guys.
Yep. That's why you go out and test drivers.
Exactly
Test
right.
irons.
You need to have that
See what's
power.
there.
And the hard part is if you're being fed a lot of bullshit and you're believing it. I'm not saying it's your fault, because at the end of the day, stuff gets put out there, information gets put out there, and if it's wrong and you believe it, it's not your fault. It's their fault for giving you the wrong information.
Yep.
Misinformation.
Yep.
Sorry, I ruined your rant, Richard. You want to finish that off?
No, that's good. So that's good. So get out there. Don't take one person's word for it. Don't take my word for it. What would I know? Just get out there, try different things. Same thing with golf balls. Try different golf balls. Some will go longer. It will all depend on your swing and how you hit it for the day. But in the end of the day, the only way to get better at golf is to play better. Hit the ball better. Get out and have some fun.